Good afternoon. It's an honor to be here today to talk about the Massachusetts Clean Energy Partnership, a model that has been road tested and transferred in 21 states. Just 2 miles away, the City of Cambridge water treatment plant delivers and treats over 14 million gallons of clean water to this university and 100,000 residents each and every day. Producing clean water is energy intensive and expensive, costing Massachusetts communities over $100 million each and every year, and on a national level contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions. We wanted to address this issue, but we face significant challenges. First challenge, the Mass DEP and the Mass Department of Energy Resources and the US EPA do not regulate energy end users. There was a need to develop an effective way to reduce energy consumption, costs, and greenhouse gas emissions. Second challenge, as environmental regulators, the facilities that we needed to partner with didn't trust us. We had to overcome the stigma. We're here from the government, and we're here to help. Third challenge, there was no roadmap to accomplish this. So how do we get results from municipalities and communities and the environment? We built an 8-year statewide novel partnership that effectively engaged federal, state, municipal levels of government, universities, energy utilities, professional trade associations, and consultants. We brought together expertise and resources to the table on both energy and renewable energy efficiency. Through our partners, we broke down silos. For facilities, this meant energy audits, on-site clean energy assessments, technical assessments, and leveraging of all available financial incentives. We empowered facilities to become energy leaders. We asked them. Since 2010, we effectively engaged over 120 municipal water and wastewater facilities through 17 statewide energy leader roundtable meetings. Additionally, we applied a management systems approach to focus facility operations on continuous energy, cost, and greenhouse gas emission reductions. Our economic and environmental results have been significant. Since 2010, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Partnership has saved communities over $35 million and removed over 100,000 tons of carbon dioxide emissions, all voluntary and all without regulations. We developed a new funding approach that effectively leveraged state, energy utilities, and municipal monies to move energy savings projects forward. These cost savings and emission reductions will have big economic and environmental dividends for the Commonwealth for years to come. So why was the Massachusetts Clean Energy Partnership successful? We effectively changed the mindset within regulatory agencies and facilities. We took people from multiple organizations and capitalized on their talents, programs, and resources. We shifted our role from regulate to educate. We had a small amount of money and leveraged it with big returns. And now Sherry will talk about how this program has helped her get results.
Hello. I am providing a participant's perspective of the Clean Energy Partnership. In 2008, while serving as the engineer at the Charles River Pollution Control District, which is a medium-sized wastewater treatment facility, the executive director and I were approached by Mass DEP to participate in an energy partnership. Both the executive director and I were skeptical. Partner with the government, share electrical usage information. At the time, Mass DEP and other state and federal agencies were perceived as regulators, not collaborators. The district decided to take a chance. As the director in 2010, I continued Charles River's involvement at the Energy Roundtable meetings, which brought superintendents and directors of water and wastewater treatment facilities together. It provided a much-needed forum for directors and superintendents. Where am I? Sorry. Oh my goodness. Of water and wastewater treatment facilities to share ideas. Ties were made, support grew for each other. Initial stories of changing incandescent bulbs to compact fluorescents evolved into installations of solar arrays, wind turbines, and more efficient equipment to operate water and wastewater treatment facilities. A roundtable meeting in 2014, which included a discussion of a grant opportunity, coupled with a Clean Energy Center-sponsored Organics to Energy feasibility study, catapulted my current employer, the Greater Lawrence Sanitary District, to pursue combined heat and power from biogas produced from the breakdown of organics. The project supports Mass DEP's recent commercial organics ban and improves GLSD's resiliency, allowing the plant to continue operation, providing a human health service even during a blackout. The Clean Energy Partnership's outcomes far exceeded my expectations. In summary, light bulbs to net zero, that's what clean energy means to me. Okay, sorry about that.
We now have a successful roadmap for other states. Thank you.
Thank you. You started off by saying that 14 other states are involved.
21 states.
Can you describe that? Because I don't remember reading that as part
Yeah,
of the
so what happened
process.
is, basically, the Massachusetts work started as an energy management pilot with 21 facilities, and we engaged a management facilitator through UMass and set up these forums that basically engaged water and wastewater facility operators. So really the replicability is this sort of this building these energy leader roundtables that brings in all the different partners from not only state government, federal government, but from the energy utility companies who have some resources that can be offered to these facilities and help them. So it's really sort of creating this energy leader roundtable series with multi-government, multi-agency, and the municipal facilities. It's really about government meeting the needs of facilities, not facilities meeting the needs of government. And what happened was that was replicated across, through that, the University of Massachusetts, the facilitator that helped us with this project, that was replicated across all the New England states, all 10 EPA regions, to sort of make those connections between energy, environment, and water, which sounds very simple, but really had never been done before in a systematic, comprehensive way. So what was transferred was basically this model of getting the right people in the room, building a program that would help water and wastewater facility operators and managers, and that was replicated at different levels across these 21 states over the course of 8 years, from 2007 to 2014.
So you've been doing this since 2007.
Correct. We launched our first facilities were launched in December of 2007. We had a sort of flagship success. We wanted to take it statewide. We came up with an energy leaders. This is something that we want communities to, this was voluntary. We asked them, but we brought the right tools to the table so that they could succeed. We wanted them to succeed. And it was a totally different way of doing business for government.
Okay. I can keep asking questions. I mean, why don't you regulate these? I mean,
The end
it
users.
just seems to me.
Electricity is not. Massachusetts and other states regulate the power plants.
Since many of you haven't read their report, apparently, from what I can understand, the wastewater facilities are not asked to save energy, unlike all of you who live in houses or buildings or factories. All of you want to save energy, but for some reason, unclear why, wastewater treatment facilities don't have that same yearning.
They had because their mission is to provide clean water, and there's a lot of moving pieces to that for that mission. But once they realize sort of the benefits.
When the rest of the world had realized it a long time ago. Anyway, it was just an interesting.
Yes, that's correct.
I was struck, given that there's a pretty significant commercial practice in the energy savings arena, right? Energy savings contracting, their entire business is dedicated to this type of activity. And you know better than I, but wastewater consumes staggering amounts of energy, right? It's in many places it's second only to personnel, maybe third to personnel and chemical. And given that cities and many utilities are under enormous cost pressure with consent decree mandates and other things, I would have thought that they would have been running through your open door for this assistance, right? It just, the ROIs are pretty definable,
yes.
The technologies are pretty well known. So it was an interesting read to learn about the navigation it took to get to the result.
Absolutely, it was a lot of hard work, but once they realized that they could trust us and we were there to help them, I know it sounds, very simplistic, and bringing those different pieces together, and we were able to sort of bringing all those resources to the table. So all these agencies that were here, everyone contributed either technical, financial assistance, in their knowledge, and I think that these treatment plants, it took 15 to 20 years, 30 years to figure out how to run them. And, and they're under a lot of pressure to make sure that they meet the water quality end of it. But now, this is on the forefront, and this is on the forefront nationally. So the discussion is happening, and results are being done.
So what, if you think about your market as Massachusetts, what percent market penetration do you think you have? How many of the facilities or how much of the energy usage have you addressed within that target market?
Yeah, I'll just give you an example on, because I know these numbers. On the first 14 facilities that we engaged, our first sort of test run, these pilot facilities, they spent $11 million a year on energy. Through the connections, and we had energy assessments done and identified opportunities both on efficiency and renewable. And timing was everything. They ended up getting these projects fully funded through the American Recovery Stimulus Act. But these projects actually saved $3.7 million, about 34% of their costs in greenhouse gas emissions. So that nucleus and that word spread amongst, and Sherry can talk about this from the utilities perspective, what that sort of meant. They were a participant. Sherry participated in 2 projects. So if you want to just sort of, what does that mean?
I think basically the whole mindset of a wastewater treatment facility has changed over the last few years. One of the things I wanted to mention was, we've always been looked at as a wastewater treatment facility, but now we're a, water resource recovery center, not only to harness the energy from the wastewater that's moving through the treatment facility, but also looking at ways to harness the energy, because the wastewater is always coming in at a constant temperature. We can cool, we can heat, so there's so many different ways of harnessing, even phosphorus. They're looking at taking nutrients out of the wastewater that comes in. So the whole mindset of wastewater treatment has changed. We've gone from hiding from the public to being part of the public process and being a good neighbor, and it's a total shift.
Ed?
Let me just follow up on Skip's question. If we took the total number of wastewater facilities in Massachusetts and we divided that into the number who are currently participating actively in saving waste, saving energy, what would our percentage be? Is it 90%, 80%, 70%? What's your penetration rate?
We have 120 facilities, which is about a third of the entire drinking water and wastewater. So we do both drinking water and wastewater. This is a systems approach. And so we have 120 that are working to be energy leaders, and that varies depending on the facility. So
What's wrong with the other, same questions in New York. What's wrong with the other people?
we're not done yet.
I mean, just to touch upon that, I mean, maybe those are the numbers from the partnership, but I think all the work that's been done is spreading through, like New England Water Environment Association, all of the forums now that the superintendents go to. It's spreading throughout the entire industry.
Got it.
Pete?
Thank you.
Without breaking the confidence of the site visit, there was a mention made of the fact that the process that you all use really could be applied to numerous other city departments. So as somebody that's working more at the state level, are there other kind of top-tier energy wasters that really could be targeted with this approach?
I think the manufacturing on the business side, large manufacturing, I mean, the same model, again, huge operating costs.
So private sector on that side?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think it can be, and it is sort of happening, but the same model could be used. And I think the big thing is saving those operational cost savings and reinvesting those savings, if you're a private business, into the manufacturing, or in our case, reinvesting in clean water. And that's basically what Sherry is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.